Hi, here we've got Rosie Douglas, General Manager of Business Events Cairns. Welcome.
Thank you.
What's happening in your part of the world?
Well, we've got a huge few months coming up at the moment. Next month, we're going to welcome about 6,500 delegates from Amway China that'll
Huge.
be coming in. Yeah, no, it's going to be massive. So pretty much they'll be taking over the whole of the city. They're using, I think, 4 of our 5-star hotels. They'll be doing amazing experiences, Great Barrier Reef, the rainforest, some adventure activities for the younger ones. So that's going to be a really, really big event for the city, and it'll be the biggest incentive group that the city's ever hosted.
Can you put a dollar value on that?
Oh, it's going to be a tough one. If we compare the Sydney and Melbourne programs, they're in the vicinity of $40 to $50 million. Cairns, we'll probably say it'll be close to that amount, probably close to $40 million, particularly with the shopping. I mean, they're notorious, obviously, as for the shopping.
And the koalas and the kangaroos.
Oh, absolutely. And we're certainly preparing all the retail outlets and customs and everybody else along the way. So I think it should be really good.
Excellent. And how did you bid for it? Tell me the process.
Well, we worked very much in partnership with Tourism Australia and Tourism and Events Queensland. So like any of these events, you can't do it by yourself. So very much relied on the Tourism and Events Queensland and Tourism Australia teams in China. They had the relationships with Amway and they expressed interest in coming to our part of the world. It took 2 attempts to get it, like it does. It's a bit like,
yes.
Bidding for the Olympics. Takes a little while to get
knocked
through.
back, go again?
Yeah, absolutely. But also learn, trying to understand what the client is and what they're looking for and how can we position the destination a little bit differently. They were in Queenstown in 2018 and I think going to a smaller destination gave them confidence that a place like Cairns certainly could deliver rather than having to go, taking them into a capital city. So,
excellent. And there's a lot of talk, obviously, about Townsville. What's the perception about Townsville? Because has that really affected you? You're actually not really close to Townsville.
No. And I think that's been an interesting process that we've gone through over the last month or so. I mean, Cairns is nearly 400 kilometres from Townsville. So a little way. And we certainly haven't been affected in any way, shape or form by the flooding that's been down there. I mean, we've had some monsoonal weather, which happens. I mean, we're having a typical wet season, which is what we need. So we have had periods of rain, but it's just unfortunate that both Cairns and also the Whitsundays, I'd probably put that in the mix as well. They're about, it's probably 300 kilometres south of Townsville, and everybody sort of looks at that part of the world and thinks everything's underwater. I mean, certainly from a Townsville perspective, it's been a really, really unfortunate incident. Our hearts really go out to the damage that's been done down there, and knowing what the road ahead's going to be like as well. It's going to be they're in for some challenging times, but I guess we really want to make it clear that we are 400 kilometres away. We've got an international airport. We've got services from every capital city in Australia, so it's easy to fly in and out of Cairns and not be affected by any of that. So.
And you've been in the industry quite a while now.
Yeah, quite a few years, yes. Yeah.
Where do you think it's going to be in the next 5 years with business events?
Oh, that's a bit of a tough one. I think I was at a seminar yesterday, a leaders forum put on by Talk to Media and the ICC and Simple View, and it was really interesting. We had Bernard Salt talking, and he's also fabulous. Really gives a good perspective on it. And but I think too, technology is going to be the big sort of the change. Just way people access information, what they're looking for. I think also. One of the things that came out of the sessions there was just having access to data, and it's not just data for the sake of data, it's actually collecting meaningful data that can then give you insights into what the trends are and what people are looking for and that type of thing. And I think that's something that there's probably things at a national level that we can look at a little bit differently, but I think just the whole dynamics of the world that we live in, technology, artificial intelligence, VR, all of that sort of stuff is being introduced into events. So I think it's a matter of now making sure that destinations really move with the flow and look at how to adapt. I still believe the personal interaction is still there. However, when you talk to younger people, if you look at the younger generation coming through, they're all sort of all about their smartphones. So maybe, maybe that's sort of a way that you've got to harness that energy as well.
But would that mean a lack of communication skills?
Well, I don't know necessarily whether it's a lack of communication skills. They just communicate differently. And I don't think you can it's not a criticism of that generation.
No.
I mean, I've got a son that's 16 years old, and when you start talking to him about forms of communication that we all used in our, 20 years ago, he looks if we're from a foreign, foreign planet almost. And I think too, if we look back, it's just a matter of where technology can take us. And I think we've got to embrace it.
Yeah,
we use it. We make sure we're smart about how we use it. We make sure we use it to our benefit. I think that's really where the future is.
Well, they are our future.
Absolutely, and the digital space, obviously, the way we do business, it's very much moving in. Everything's online. Everything's in a digital space. And I think everybody needs to adapt to that sort of. I mean, even we're looking at AIM. The app that we've got. It's it's almost like a paperless.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a paperless communication, and all international trade shows that we go to now are going down that path now,
exactly.
and information sent electronically. None of this brochures and any of that sort of thing now.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Rosie, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.